Imagine waking up every single day, unable to stand up straight for 18 years, your world always facing the ground. This was her life until one moment changed everything. In the Gospel of Luke, we meet a woman whose suffering has lasted for nearly 2 decades. And what's striking is not only that she was healed, but how severe her condition truly was. Today, we are looking at the story of the woman who was bent over for 18 years through the lens of medicine and faith. Not to explain away the miracle, but to examine the depth of the disease so we can better appreciate the magnitude of the healing. Welcome to the medicine behind the miracle. So Jesus was teaching in a synagogue on the Sabbath, and among the crowd was a woman who was described as bent over and unable to straighten herself at all. Luke tells us something important. She didn't just have back pain, she was physically incapable of standing upright. Then Jesus saw her, spoke to her, and said, "Woman, you are loosed from your infirmity." And then, immediately, she stood up straight. Now, medically speaking, this description is serious. A person who is unable to straighten up their spine likely had a structural or neuromuscular disorder, not a mild condition. Looking at this story through the medical lens, a question naturally arises. What kind of condition could keep a woman physically bent for nearly 2 decades? Before we jump into what might have caused her spine to bend so severely, let's remember that the spine is not perfectly straight. In fact, it has natural curves that help us move, absorb shock, and maintain balance. In the upper back, there's a slight gentle forward curve called the kyphotic curve, and in the lower back, a gentle backward bend called the lordotic curve. These curves are completely normal and healthy, but what happens in our case is a much more extreme version of that same bend. This is called pathological kyphosis, where the natural curve of the spine becomes exaggerated and rigid, leading to severe bending that can interfere with daily life. Now, this condition could be congenital, post-traumatic, or degenerative. Her extreme spinal bend didn't happen overnight. It developed over many years. The pathological kyphosis tells us that the spine is being affected by a long-term process. One condition that fits this pattern is ankylosing spondylitis. This is a chronic inflammatory disease that primarily affects the spine and sacroiliac joints. Think of the spine as a stack of building blocks connected by flexible joints. In ankylosing spondylitis, your body's immune system begins to attack these joints, causing inflammation. Over time, this inflammation can cause these joints to stiffen and even fuse together like cement between blocks. The result, the spine gradually loses its flexibility, and in severe cases, people can even end up being bent forward in a rigid position, similar to what we are seeing in the story of this woman. 18 years. That's not just a number. This is nearly 2 decades of putting such strain on the body. But what exactly happens to someone when their spine stays bent like this for so long? So firstly, she would definitely be experiencing extreme back pain and fatigue. A flexed spine compresses the thoracic cavity and results in reduced lung expansion, shallow breathing, and decreased vital capacity. This chronic forward flexion can also compress abdominal organs, slow gastric emptying, and worsen reflux. Eating also becomes very uncomfortable. Severe curvature can also pinch spinal nerves, causing pain, tingling, and even weakness in the legs. She would also experience difficulty in walking as this posture changes the center of gravity. So what can be done for someone with severe long-standing kyphosis? Let's look at the ways modern medicine tackles this challenge. Firstly, treatments like anti-inflammatory medications can slow down the disease and reduce pain. Physical therapy also helps to maintain flexibility and strength. And in severe cases like this, surgical intervention can help to restore posture and improve quality of life. But even with these solutions that modern medicine has to offer, surgery is high risk, recovery is long, and correction is gradual, not instant. So from a medical perspective, what happens in the biblical account is impossible. There is no gradual correction, no period of instability, no relearning of posture. Her muscles respond instantly and and her spine aligns. This isn't healing over time, this is restoration. This is exactly why this moment cannot be reduced to psychology, coincidence, or spontaneous remission. Whether you approach this story through faith, medicine, or curiosity, one thing is clear: this was not a minor condition, and this was not a minor miracle. Here's a really interesting medical fact. The very first bone of your spine is named after the Greek mythology god called Atlas, because just like him, it literally holds up the head. Another fascinating detail: the spinal cord doesn't run all the way down the spine. At its end, the nerves spread out into something called cauda equina, which is Latin for a horse's tail, because that's exactly what it looks like. From top to bottom, the spine is both incredibly strong and incredibly delicate, and it was never designed to carry a deformity for 18 years. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos like this, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. When science reaches its limits, scripture invites us to look higher. This has been the medicine behind the miracle, where medicine explains the disease, but the miracle speaks for itself.